Locked On ACC, your daily podcast on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Friday edition, Freestyle Friday, that is, of Locked On ACC. So glad it's Friday. I can't even begin. Got my guy, Drizzy Drake, in the building. Certified Lover Boy, that is. That's what we talked about yesterday with Tyler. I'm just saying. So we did a Drake review. So Drizzy Drake, if you want to drop your thoughts on Certified Lover Boy, please feel free. After I remind everyone that yesterday we had NFL going down, but the season has begun. So we have games. The Bucs played the Cowboys at the time of the recording. We don't know the final score, but we know it's going to be lit. So just want to make sure you touch base with the Odyssey app. We know we have local experts that give you the best news every single day. They are just preparing you for the ultimate season preview. They've had you covered, but more importantly, they're just here for a good time. So make sure you follow Ross Tucker and Jason LaCamfora. All right, Drizzy Drake, welcome to the show. Happy Freestyle Friday.
Happy Freestyle Friday. Thank God it is Friday. And also, I did listen to y'all yesterday. Y'all give a lot of hate. I mean, I deserve the hate for the Ohio pick.
Okay.
I will give you that.
Okay.
Tyler, my bad. Y'all showed out, even though Tommy DeVito did throw 400 yards.
Ooh,
But Certified Lover Boy actually was it's much better than Scorpion. It's better than Views.
Okay.
It's kind of like a nostalgic return over to old school, like Take Care. Because I'm a single dude. Like, this shit speaks to me.
See, that's exactly what I said. I said it's a mood piece. Like, if you're in a stage of life where you're like, yeah, should I text that ex back or nah? Like, this is for you. But if you're like, oh, I'm in a good, healthy relationship, we talk things out, we say sorry, that ain't the one for you, right? But there was a banger. I won't take it away from Drake. Drake is Drake. Like, I think audio production was solid. There's some good moments, but at times I felt like the changes, the transitions were forced. Like, we just had to go through something like random just because it's Drake and he feels like he has to do too much. So that was my only caveat. I was like, and then it didn't start out with a banger. Like, at least Scorpion, like nonstop, those kind of things. You started out like, all right, okay, this is some heat. It took a little bit. It was a little build up. But, Drake is Drake, and I'll go with it. I love me some Drake. I'm not a Drake stan like some of these people. Like, I wasn't up at 3 a.m. like waiting for it to drop.
Your boy was listening to that. Like, Drake's in my top 5, like along with Kanye, Wayne, Future, and T.I. Like, that's my top 5 right there.
See, I stopped Kanye after Yeezy. I couldn't really get with it. Now, mind you, Life of Pablo was dope. Like, I think there's a couple songs on there that were pretty good. But he's lost me in all of his, like, whether it's Christianity, I don't play by my Jesus, okay? So I just need you to figure that out.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? But Weezy also loved, the Carter 2, Carter 3, Carter 4.
Ceilings.
No ceilings, right? Every feature he's been on is just, he's a lyricist beyond, right? He's our guy. I grew up with him. Jeezy, I'm a big Rick Ross fan. I love Rick Ross.
Oh, most underrated rapper in the game. Ricky Rose, Port of Miami too. Ooh, that's my
I love a bit. Like, he was my first crush, and everyone used to like get on me because that was his thicker days. He had not yet done the Ross fit. So he was a thick boy, and like, I have a soft spot. And that's probably why I talk about O-line and trenches talk so much, because now y'all know. Here's a little sneak peek. Like, I love me some big men. So he was my first, but all in all, I'm a Southern trap music girl, and you can get me every time with a dope beat. So, Young Dolph,
Young Dolph, like, get paid. Yeah, Young Dolph's got some really fun mixes. No, I got you. Trust me.
Yeah, we follow. And we knew we were going to start the show like this. Of course, we'll have you on this Freestyle Friday. Anything can happen. But we would be remiss if we didn't talk about some college football. Last week, Drizzy Drake gave us some great picks. What was your overall score throughout this week one?
So for spread money line and for first half of Wake Forest, I went 12-3 overall, which is pretty damn good. I mean, the only one that we'll discuss it a little bit later, because it's, your team, your boy Sam Howell owes me some money. So,
ooh, I'm so sorry. Well, let's start out with week 2. We want to talk about Florida State, who we argued all week long that they were the game of the week, from week 1. They're so happy to see them at least give a good college try. They stayed in the best they can. They had almost had the hero story of Mackenzie Milton, but now they're looking ahead, and I would love for you to just talk about the game and what you're expecting from them out of week 2.
So I was really optimistic, I think before the season started on Locked On Seminoles, I stated that I thought that this was a very winnable game because Notre Dame lost, I think, 114 starts on their offensive line. Jack Cohn, to me, at Wisconsin was not very impressive. He kind of has like a water gun of an arm like Alex Hornberg before him. And then the game started. I'm not going to lie to you. The first broken play, the touchdown to Michael Mayer, I'm like, oh, crap. Here's the defense that I was talking mad nonsense about all offseason. It's from last year. And something, though, changed a little bit. The run by Corbin, the passing by Jordan Travis at the beginning, kind of on the explosive play, like to Ja'Kai Douglas. I'm like, wow, we're staying in this thing. And then our defense was locked down the rest of the way, too. Like, our defensive line is a bunch of monsters. Jermaine Johnson's a dog. I love that dude.
Yeah, and I just want to say for the record that we're doing this show today and our names are switched. So if everyone's watching, I'm 5 minutes in, but the show is going too well for me to honestly change it. So I'm not there. That's what it is. So in case you guys are just wondering, who is, Andres Silva and Candace Cooper, it's switched. But again, it's too good of a show to want to switch over. I'm sorry. I was reading it. I was like, why am I on this side today? Because I'm having a weird view. And then I was like, that's not Candace, and that's fine. But hey, it's Freestyle Friday. We're mixing it up. You didn't even know what you would get. So, fun show. We're still working on Restream here. Still working on YouTube vibes. We're getting out the kinks, and that's just the vibe. So, yeah. But I say all that to say I 100% agree with you. I think there were some definite bright moments, some questionable coaching situation calls from Norvell. I think got gutsy. Or, it's great if it delivers, but it's really horrible if it doesn't. And so now you guys are playing Jacksonville State. That's the game most people will start out with, but now you see where your team's at and you kind of put everyone on notice. So I think that's a great start to the whole thing. But when it comes to other squads, right, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about them. Wake Forest coming out the gate. They had a great start. Now they play Norfolk State. Another good soft opening. So at what point do you say, okay, enough soft openings. Let's get to the nitty gritty of it all. Then you got Syracuse, who is playing Rutgers, a great second game. We saw Syracuse beat Ohio, and now we're really going to see whether or not they can be into the middle of the pack of the ACC, because right now, after week 1, they're holding it down for us.
No, they really, really are. I mean, Syracuse, I joked earlier in the show that Tommy DeVito didn't have, I think he had 92 passing yards against Ohio. They still won the game. And me personally, they went in there as a point dog, away from home, and they win. And that's actually a testament to how good Dino Beavers is as coaching and, giving his guys up to play. Absolutely. And the game against Rutgers, I like Rex Schiano a lot. I think his defense is going to be solid. That Rutgers offense is going to be a bottom 10 offense in the league. And also, Tommy DeVito is a New Jersey native, went to Don Bosco preparatory. So he's had this circled on probably on his little calendar for the entire year.
Absolutely has. And I think it's going to be a great matchup overall. But when I look at the Atlantic, I'm certainly okay, where are teams at? Are there a little mix? Who's going to be on top? Clemson certainly leads, but I think NC State and Florida State, like I mentioned, are going to slowly but surely make some noise. If NC State can have a strong showing against Mississippi State, we have to put them more in the conversation.
No, I 100% agree. And I personally think that NC State is going to do really well against Mississippi State. I'm not a big Mike Leach guy. I think he live by the air raid, you die by the air raid, but their defense isn't particularly great.
Yeah.
And also NC State, I think, has a much better coach than Dave Dorn. Devin Leary is everything that has been advertised. Peyton Wilson, that defense is going to be locked down. And as Ken mentioned before, they got, Corey Durden and Cyrus Fagan, 2 Florida State transfers, and neither of them played. And they're both extremely talented. And then you have Bam Knight, Thayer Thomas, Emeka Emezi. That team is low-key is sneakily going to be one of the best teams in the conference, regardless of division.
100%. Listen, I was telling Tyler I had to stop saying 100% agree. I had to figure out whether 80%, 90%, sometimes 60%, but I do 100% agree with that. And I can't believe I have to be so hyped about NC State. I thought I was going to feel the same way about, UNC, but here we are. Needless to say, I think that we are going to talk about the Coastal, a couple games that we have to mention. And as Drizzy Drake said, Sam Howell owes him some money, and he's going to find out why. I think because he wasn't equipped for that Virginia Tech game. I think as he's heading into this weekend playing Georgia State, maybe things will go differently. Maybe he's packed in good. He has his nutrition to go. Maybe he has some protein in his system. Maybe he has Built Bar. Did you guys know that Built Bar is the best tasting protein bar ever? It has 9 delicious flavors. There's literally something for everyone. When you talk to a Built Bar fan, they're definitely passionate about their faves. If you don't know the Built Bar flavors, well, frankly, you're missing out. Know what my personal favorite is? I'm a big strawberry, sometimes cookies and cream, but I'm always down for some chocolate. So if you haven't tried all the flavors, you can get a mixed box where you'll get 2 of the 9 flavors each. Now, not only are Built Bars the best tasting, but they're healthy too. 17 to 18 grams of protein, only 4 to 5 grams of net carbs. Amazing flavors, all tasty and all healthy. Order today. Get that raspberry, strawberry, orange cookies and cream, or whatever you like. Go to BuiltBar.com. Use promo code LOCKED15 and you'll get 15% your next order. Drizzy Drake in the building, holding it down for Freestyle Friday. We have some great coastal games that we have to go over, but I would love to ask, because we're here and we can, your thoughts on Sam Howell in his opening appearance, because at first I was assuming, okay, we're really on this Heisman campaign, and now I just want us to, finish in the middle of the pack in the coastal division.
I will say, before I'm about to tear up your team, I will say Justin Fuente, I think out of the 6 years he's been at Virginia Tech, out of the openers he had, I think he's played ranked opponents 4 times, and he's beaten them by each of them by 20 points. So that's
he lives for that.
Because it's the only thing he can do. He beat us a few years ago and was 6-7. Last year he beat NC State 45-24 and was still mediocre. That's because he knows he doesn't last very long across the entire stretch of the season. That being said, there's a quote that I say a lot on Locked On Seminoles when referring to our defense. Y'all look like 50 shades of pure unadulterated ass. That was a horrible, horrible, horrible showing. And it was just not Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell was let down a lot by his wide receivers, his tight ends, his running backs. There's a lot of nice hands, feet type of thing going on. Yeah. And your defense also, it makes me a lot more confident when we play each other, because that run defense with our stable of backs, y'all can't stop a nosebleed, man. Damn. Y'all were bad.
Ooh, and I wish I could sit here and be like, yeah, wait, it was tough. I think Josh Downs had a great performance. He held it down the best he could, but overall, when the push come to shove, it was not about the trenches. They lost every single matchup. I just feel like Virginia Tech dominated, and that's unfortunate because, again, you got all the hype about you. You're a top 10 team in the country for whatever reason that was, but now it's picking up face. We have to save face. We have to turn the season around. So this game is a make or break. Again, they'll be playing Georgia State this weekend. Then you move on to Duke, who also has to pick up their face a little bit after losing to Charlotte. They will be facing North Carolina A&T, and while some of you are like, who's North Carolina A&T? I strongly suggest you look up this powerful HBCU. They have definitely been at the Celebration Bowl 1 or 2, maybe 3 times before, and they are not a team to sleep on. Now, while if Duke had beaten Charlotte, I might be saying, okay, this is going to be a cakewalk, XYZ, but I can't say that with full confidence that the Aggies cannot upset the Blue Devils.
Yeah, I mean, so North Carolina A&T, I remember they opened the season. Didn't they open up against North Carolina Central? That was where College Game Day was week 0?
For this coming season, no, they did not open up week 0. Central played, good Lord, what was that team? They played Alcorn State.
That's who they played. Okay. Okay, yeah, because I know that NCAA they lost to Furman last week. That being said, Charlotte, I mean, that was kind of a reach by me, mainly because I'm a huge fan of the head coach at Charlotte.
Yeah.
They've only been a Power 5 football program since 2014. Duke is the first team that they've beaten at home in a Power 5 game.
Yeah.
And now Gunnar Holmberg actually didn't play bad. I think he had 220 yards of offense, 1 TD. Mateo Durant almost ran for 275 yards.
I mean, he had a school record. And And the other part about that is Gunnar didn't have any interceptions. That's where I'm sitting here scratching my head. We talked all summer long. Duke has to protect the ball. Duke has to protect the ball. Duke has to defend, damn it.
Yeah, because they lost, like we said last week. They lost Victor Dimukeji, who's going to be playing a lot on Sunday with Arizona. They lost Chris Rump. They lost a corner, I think that's now in the Jets. I think his name is Michael Carter. They confused him on draft night, by the way. If you remember that little highlight. But they can't play defense at all. And I watched the game after I had landed, and I'm seeing them like typically offenses are the ones that lag behind when the season starts because you don't do full contact with the quarterbacks and everything. Your offensive line's not used to it. Your defense is always ahead of the game. That defense is ahead of nobody right now. So they're going to have to figure that out because this is definitely the way Cutley also coached. This may be just his swan song, his going out party because, damn, this would be a way to go out.
This would be an interesting way to go. I hope he goes out better than this. I want him to get at least 3 to 4. I really do. And that's going to be tough. I thought the Charlotte one was going to be 1, but this Aggie game, who knows? But then we also have Virginia playing Big Ten school Illinois. They'll be playing on Saturday. I think Virginia is going to have a strong showing. Illinois is not a terrible team, but it's a good challenge. It's a good, okay, we see where we're at. This is week 2. We had a solid start in week 1. So now we played William & Mary and dominated. Now we're going to play some a Power 5 school that's going to really show us who we are.
Yeah, so I'm a huge Brett Bielema guy. The man's a big butt guy, thick guy like me. He was a coach over Wisconsin for a long time, then went down to Arkansas.
What
Then
does a big stop? What does a big butt guy mean? What
big
does that
boy,
mean?
big boy.
Okay. I was like big butt guy. I was like, okay.
No.
I was like, we thickums around here. Okay.
No. That's a different. That's a lockdown after dark. We talk about that nonsense. No, but and then he went over to the Nick Saban Reformatory School for head coaches that want to coach good but do other stuff good as well. The Foxborough campus with Bill Belichick, and then went to Illinois.
Yeah.
And he beat Nebraska week 1. Now, to me, that's more of a testament also to how bad Nebraska is, especially with Scott Frost coaching. But to me, this game is going to come down to who's starting for Illinois.
Yeah.
If they have Arthur Sikowski from Rutgers starting again, then Virginia could win this handily because Brandon Armstrong is hands down the better quarterback. If it's Brandon Peters, this might be a very, very close game. So.
Yeah, and I think Brennan Armstrong certainly is putting himself in the counter. We talked about all summer, strong quarterback, in the conference, and with Sam Howell having a lackluster performance, I think the Coastal just opened up, and Virginia is certainly putting themselves out there like we've done it before. We can certainly make people miss and have some off nights, and I think that they're trying to deliver that for sure. But I'm very much on the side today. Locked On After Dark sounds like an awesome show. And so Ross Jackson, I know you're going to watch this. Please, we're going to highly recommend this to Dave. David Locke, if you're listening, we're going to do a Locked On After Dark. It's there, boom. It's kind of like Pac-12 After Dark. We can do a Locked On After Dark.
But better football probably too.
See, you know what? We're not starting with you. We're not starting with you today. Did you guys know that 85% of people who play daily fantasy sports lose? Is that really surprising, though? You've got to figure out that the game is rigged. Introducing StatHero, the first ever daily fantasy sports book that puts a player in control and winning within reach. You name your stakes, winner takes all. You have the advantage. StatHero is showing you their lineups ahead of time. No one else does that. You are in total control. StatHero is daily fantasy sport books the way they are meant to be, one-on-one. Play StatHero now and change the odds. Go to stathero.com/lockedon. Sign up for free, and right now you can get 3 times back on your first play. They're giving you a 300% match. Go to stathero.com/lockedon. That's stathero.com/lockedon. It is Freestyle Friday here in Locked On ACC, where we give you all of the coverage from your respective ACC schools in terms of football and basketball. A lot of news from our local experts. Monday through Friday, up to 30 minutes a day. Drizzy Drake holds it down for us on the Fridays. We always have a good time. We talk a little rap. We talk a little sports. But if you were going to give me the best game of this weekend, week 2, who would you say is going to come out with the win for the ACC? Or just a good game in general, because we could see a good game and still a loss for the ACC. It's up to you.
I think it's going to be NC State beating Mississippi State, primarily because NC State, I think, has always kind of been that team that no one really talks about. Like, they're always like a decent, solid, really well-coached team. But to me, this team is a little bit different. I echo the sentiments at Kenton, where this team should win 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, them going out there, and right now they're what's the word for it? A Mississippi State team they're playing is a public underdog. That means that everyone's betting on them.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I always say that, public dogs, they always have fleas because they always have problems. You don't go with that kind of money. You don't follow that line. And then NC State, for them to be the ACC, and us having the week that we did, for them to go and beat an SEC team and beat them probably by a touchdown, that will do wonders for the perception of the conference, the perception of that program. And then also it might give a little bit of a scare to Clemson, because Clemson's offense and that play calling, because Dabo is now apparently calling the plays, it's going to give them a little bit of a scare, because may not be a guarantee anymore.
I know Coach Elliott must be sweating somewhere, but I also think that like DJ just had a really rough showing. And when you look at the rest of their schedule, people will say, "Oh, well, it's a cakewalk." But if NC State beats Mississippi State, maybe that makes better for Clemson in the long run, right? You see stronger losses, stronger wins, XYZ. So there's a lot of pressure on everybody else in this conference to help elevate Clemson's game if we're saying that Clemson is going to be a straight ticket to the ACC championship and eventually in the college football playoff. So I agree there. I don't know if Coach Doran realizes that his job is on the line, because based on what Kitten said and what you're telling me here, if you can't win beyond 10, if you can't really make those statement wins this season with your kind of talent, maybe we need to look elsewhere. And is that what we're trying to argue here? Or, we can say great for the 10, maybe 11, but we'll still keep you around because we see the promise.
So to me, because the team is too talented not to hit that threshold, right? And we always consistently say how great and how well coached the team is and how great Dave Doran's at his job. But to me, the barometer for that is if you have this talent that NC State has never seen before on all facets of the ball, whether it be offense and defense, if you can't capitalize that and get to 10 wins, then maybe he just isn't that guy. And then maybe you have to go forward. Like some people think that for certain teams, their fans should accept what they are. To me, I'm one of those people that for some circumstances, that's correct. But I'm also on the same camp that Florida State was a team that was a women's college. Before Bobby Bowden came by, we had won, I think, 3 games in 3 to 4 years. And now look at what we become. We're a blue blood. The logo still holds weight. We had 9.5 million people, unique viewers, watch the game on Sunday night. So to me, you can probably build that program moving forward. And for Dave Doran, 10 wins, I think, is something you really, really need to do if you want to keep your job for a long time.
I agree. I think that's a very, very good point that you have there. But also, when you talk about the Florida States of the world, and I think that they are part of the Atlantic Division conversation to where things are going to shake up for Clemson. They should be shaking in their boots. They should be worried about if, Jordan Travis or there it is, Mackenzie Milton figure it out. It's not a bad team. Jermaine Johnson showed up. He wasn't perfect, but he had a great game. I mean, we've been hyping him up all season. So I think, being in Tallahassee, having fans and that energy has definitely sparked the Florida State Seminoles in ways that we probably wouldn't assume otherwise. But I say all that to say, I still think you got to play the game in the Coastal, and Kenny Pickett and the Tennessee Vols are going to go at each other this week. And I think that's another good game we should watch, and another way that we can try and elevate the conference, because we always assume Kenny is just a great game manager. We'll love to see if he can take the next step. Can he, elevate that offense? And then, defensively, I think we never really truly worry about Pitt, but this will be a good test to see if that loss from last season, those people who went on to the NFL, are going to truly affect them as a team.
Yeah, about to say, because they lost one of my personal favorite players in Jalen Twyman to the draft. And that Tennessee game, though, if this was still Jeremy Pruitt coaching the team, I would have Pitt probably winning this by 10 points, mainly because Jeremy Pruitt is a whiz kid when it comes to defense. But when it comes to offense, he kind of falls under that kind of curse where DCs just do not know how to call an offense whatsoever. But now they're bringing Josh Heupel and a Joe Milton, who by all accounts looks much better coming from transfer from Michigan. And I do like Kenny Pickett, though. The dude's a gamer. I remember coming into the game last year, he had a severe ankle injury, and then miraculously he was fine and ran for 50 yards, threw for 3 touchdown passes.
You don't believe in miracles?
Oh, no, I do believe in miracles. I believe in a lot of other stuff, too, that helped him out with that. But with the Pittsburgh game, that is going to be a very interesting take on that, because they're a team that's not seen as someone's going to be contending right now for the division nor the conference. But if they are able to hold their own against a kind of somewhat bottom feeder in Tennessee, that kind of does level the floor of our conference to the national landscape.
No doubt. Okay, so it's time for Drizzy Drake's picks. He was 12-3 last weekend. We'll see where he's at this weekend. We always do a rally and tally. So Friday night, we've got NC A&T playing Duke at 8 p.m. on the ACC network. Drizzy Drake, what you got?
All right, Duke, do not screw me over here. I'm going to take Duke to win this game, and I'm going to take them to barely cover the 14 points. Gunnar Holmberg for 220 yards. I don't see him, regressing down to that. Mateo Durant, 250 yards. I bet you money that kind of stuck with him a little bit. It's really hard to have your best game of your career and then lose the game. So he's definitely going to be coming out really hard. So Give me Duke with the points.
All right, Illinois versus Virginia. That'll be Saturday, September 11th on ACC Network at 11 a.m. An early one.
That is very, very early.
That's rough.
Oh, yeah, let me get the line up real quick. Sorry.
You're fine. I think it's going to be Virginia, but who knows?
Yeah, you said it was Saturday, right?
Yep, Saturday at 11 a.m. on the ACC Network.
I don't even see it on here, but I know from listening earlier. I know listening earlier to another podcast. I know Illinois. Some people favor Illinois. I think Bronco Mendenhall, his better coaching is actually going to help them to win this game. But if Brandon Peters starts the game, I'm going to have Illinois covering, and I think he's going to start the game. So I'm going to have Virginia winning, but Illinois to cover.
Illinois is -10. I mean, UVA is -10.5.
Oh, I'll take 10.5. Yeah.
All right, Pittsburgh and Tennessee. Lord, my stuff falling.
I'm gonna go Pittsburgh to cover there. I think that Pat Narduzzi is definitely going to have the better coach defense. I think Kenny Pickett's the better quarterback. Like I said earlier, he's a gamer. So give me Pittsburgh -3.
Georgia Tech and Kennesaw State.
Okay, here's the problem. We talked a lot of stuff about Jeff Sims, our boy, and then now our guy, he's hurt, which really, really sucks. Best of luck to him, man. Hopefully you get better. Hope you feel better with it. I think it's a shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I have no idea who the hell Kennesaw State is. I don't even know where Kennesaw is. So just give me.
Pretty sure that's in Ohio.
See, I've never been to Ohio.
Okay.
so just give me. What's the points on that one?
They don't even have any.
Yeah, just take Georgia Tech with the points, folks.
Okay. Norfolk State and Wake Forest.
I know it's like a huge, huge point spread. So I'm going to just do it again, too. I know we did first half Wake Forest last week. We'll do first half Wake Forest this week. Also because I think they're going to let up a little bit because they play FSU the week after that. So I think definitely they're going to pull a bunch of their starters after the first half when they're up by God knows how many points. So give me Wake Forest first half points.
Okay. Middle Tennessee State and Virginia Tech.
Okay. Justin Fuente. I know you're listening to the podcast. I know you are. Fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to actually take them to not cover. I'm actually going to take Middle Tennessee State by -20 because the coaching for against UNC, they kept y'all in the game. Y'all just couldn't capitalize at all. And Braxton Burmeister to me still isn't a threat at all whatsoever. And also, this is me just being a hater. I don't care. So just give me Middle Tennessee State +20.
Rutgers and Syracuse.
All right, Tyler, I'm doing this for you. Syracuse, I think Tommy DeVito actually shows out for his hometown crowd, for his hometown fans. Rutgers has a terrible, terrible offense.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Syracuse money line here, actually. Just screw the +2. I'm just going to go straight up to the win. Give me Syracuse +105.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I'm riding with you. And listen, Tyler, I heard the nonsense you were talking about my mediocre pick. If this misses for that, I'm going to come after you, man. I'm telling you.
Okay, let's Boston College and UMass.
Boston College by 1,000 points. UMass shouldn't even be an FBS team. They should be in the FCS. And Walt Bell's probably one of the worst head coaches in the history of Power 5, in the history of any conference.
Oh my! We gotta have a whole nother show to just divulge what you're talking about here. South Carolina State and Clemson. I'm not even going to waste our time with that one.
With that. Yeah.
Appalachian State and Miami. Stop it.
All right. You know what?
Stop it.
What I'm going to do here. Chase Bryce, I apologize for what all the slander I gave you last week. I'm not taking you to beat Miami. I think Miami actually needs to win this game, and also they need to win this game handily because after the beatdown they got from Alabama, Mandy, as much as I dislike him, I think De'Aaron King is going to rally those boys around. They're going to probably beat them by maybe 14, 17 points. I think Bubba Bolden, can't play with the first half of this game.
Right.
The second half, I think they have decent DBs, and Chase Bryce, I don't see lightning striking twice with you throwing him for 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. So give me Miami -8 as much as it pains me to do it.
All right. NC State and Mississippi State. We already said here NC State's going to take this one.
Mm-hmm.
Eastern Kentucky and Louisville.
Yeah, I'm going to still go with Louisville. I mean, I didn't like what I saw from
it's very nice
Malik Cunningham.
He did the best he could. Listen.
I mean, he led the team in rushing, receiving, and passing. The man can do it all. A jack of all trades, a master of none. But no, it's not his fault. Scott Satterfield just didn't seem prepared at all whatsoever. But Eastern Kentucky, I don't think they're a particularly good team. And Louisville, they need to show out for this week because ACC play starts very soon, and they need to get the ball rolling.
Georgia State and UNC.
Georgia State and UNC. I actually do think you're going to win this game, obviously, but I don't think you cover. I think you still have a little bit of a lingering effects from the week before. I know you want to show out a little bit, but also you might want to. It's going to be a little bit difficult.
UNC minus 26. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Jacksonville State and Florida State. I'm assuming you're going to be a homer here.
What's the line?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say. I mean, the problem is I don't think McKenna Milton or Jordan Travis plays the second half. I think we go out to a really big lead, and then we see Joe Purdy for the third quarter and the fourth quarter. So we're not going to get any lines for that, so just give me FSU with the points.
Okay. Let's see. So that leaves you with only you really don't mess with Virginia Tech, because that's the only non-ACC school game you picked. So we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, listen, there isn't a regression to the mean. I do know my own stats, so folks take that lightly, but hey, it's a fun time. But yeah, VT, I can't stand VT. I don't like Justin Fuente. I'm not even going to front.
That's fine. Next show, we'll dive more into it. But if you guys are trying to bet just like Drizzy Drake here, we strongly encourage you to listen to our Locked On Bets podcast, hosted by your boy Q and handicapping expert Lee Sterling. Get daily picks, blowout specials, wrong team favorite picks, and Lee Sterling's lock of the day. Follow the Locked On Bets podcast, brought to you by BetOnline.ag, wherever you get podcasts. For Candace Cooper and Drizzy Drake, we hope you guys have a nice and safe weekend. Enjoy week 2 of the college football space, and go ACC. Until next time.